Hey, what's up, everybody? Another video here for you today. Uh, this one's going to be more focusing on, I think I talked about a little bit in uh, the Handbrake video at the very end, but basically just my mindset when I'm playing. Just a little more detailed than usual. And I really compared it, and we had this conversation, I think it was me and Jack in a party, about he has to really think about everything, like step by step, what he's gonna do next, decision making, stuff like that. Versus me, you could say I still do that, but it's very instinctive. I just kind of just let it flow. Basically, is the best way I can kind of put it. It just kind of comes naturally, and I just kind of roll with the punches, per se. And I generally have an idea, like, when I load into a game, I already know what position I'm going to generally take and what kind of tank. My most kind of pre-planning is most of the games you'll see me open up the big map, and that's honestly not me looking at the map, that's me looking at the team list for what kind of tanks they have, what's in the platoon, who's on their team, if I recognize anybody. Yes, I'm looking too. So you're not just looking for me, I'm looking out for other people that I know who are going to be threats, or who know, like, regardless. Stuff like that. It's very quick, usually. I can do it within maybe 5 seconds, if that. And I basically just gives me an idea of what to expect. It's not always enough. Sometimes you'll see me pull stuff up again. Like I said, when I pull up that big map, it's usually me looking at the team's list, to be honest. And not so much the big map. And that's kind of another reason I don't want to get this into the map thing again. Shocker. But that's another reason I kind of use the smaller one, is just because I roll with the punches. And I generally have a good understanding myself of how the battle is gonna how it's gonna work out on most maps. I have an idea. They most of the time work out about the same. There are some curveballs thrown in occasionally, but I'm pretty good at just keeping an idea of what's happening, what's going on, and just kind of rolling with it, and just reading what the enemy tanks are doing, and just stuff like that. Like I said, I don't think about stuff very in depth sometimes, and it's not a good thing always. For one, like ammo loadouts, this right here is actually one of the few occasions where I go, oh, it's a chieftain with his ass to me. Okay, load HE, because I can pen that. It's one of the few times where I actually do that. Just because I know I can. And just slow it down a little bit. But it's not something I always think about, so just as an example, is ammo types. I haven't even told about this to some other people. I don't load as much premium as somebody may expect. I just don't. Sometimes that's just me not paying attention, or just not realizing, hey, you have this other ammo that could help you actually do more damage. I don't know, forget, or I just resort to, oh, I can just get regular pens and fine. But it's definitely something I could work on a little bit, is just ammo selection. Another fun type of thing is in situations like this, where we have the circling, and it's something I also is being mindful of what gun you're using. So apologize for that, forgot to have an alarm set. Just being aware of the gun. So the Hawk 12, it has like no shell velocity. It's like 700, 800, 900, something like that. It's very low on the shell velocity. You can't just RBRT on a full fast medium tank. You have to lead your shot there. I wish I could say I did that like thinking it, but it may have just been instinctively. I don't know. Something else you may have missed, I don't know, is in that situation, I'm actually reading his turret. And it sounds weird a little bit, I think. But I'm literally watching where his turret is going and where his chassis is going and turning based off that. Reversing direction and kind of changing up where I'm going. It's something it's very minute detail that I don't always pick up on, that maybe I'm doing, or maybe you guys don't. I don't know. Something you pick up in my gameplay is that I will focus when I'm circling or doing that circle of death kind of battle on lights, or mediums, anything like that, is I'm really focusing on their turret movement and stuff like that to base my movement on, basically. And it's a good habit. It really helps you just kind of keep ahead of their gun. You don't want to get too ahead of yourself though sometimes, because sometimes they have enough turret rotation to where you reverse and then they're right back on you. So it's like the Chieftain earlier. I tried the reverse, but his turret traverse and track traverse is just, it's too fast for me to outrun it in that tank. But yeah, I just like talking about this a little more detailed because it's something kind of surprising. You can see in the like upper left hand corner, I'm in a party both these games, and like I said, I'll be honest, I'm not like thinking that much like about what's actually going on, or at least not. It's not my forefront of my mind. I'm just kind of talking, having fun in the chat, rather than, I guess, diligently or whatever big vocab words for you. Thinking through all this. It's more just kind of, okay, I know what's going to happen on this map. Just reading what kind of support I have. So I know, like, this, it's easy for me to go back and look at this now and kind of retrospectively look at, okay, why did I do this? And the reason I'm actually spotting here this time is there's no light tanks on either team. So I know I don't have to worry about yellowing light tanks coming up here and racing up here before me. So I can get some spots on them and get an idea of where their team is going, basically. That's the reasoning behind this move right here. It's not to get damage. I'm not going to get much, I don't think, any damage just because of what tank I'm in. But I know I can get away with that kind of a matchup. Again, it's just that playing on, okay, what tank I'm in, what do they have, what's the matchup like. It's all tier 9s basically, no TDs, mostly heavies and some mediums. Okay, what can I do? Basically do a little spotting run and then come up here and I see they're all, like I said, just rolling with punches. They're playing super aggressively, so I can immediately, this one's going to be more target prioritization. So I see, like, the Skoda, he's a one-shot. Obviously, I'm going to take his gun out of the game. Next for me is probably going to be the Centurion. He's the higher tier tank. I would like the 5100 also, just because he's an autoloader. Autoloaders are very important to get out of the game. The longer you let them alive, the more damage they're able to put out, basically. Because even if they're like a 2-shot, they can still trade that 1 shot and then dump an entire clip on somebody. So it's just important to get them out of the game. And you'll see me kind of use that focus here later. And you'll also see me not reloading right away. Like I said, I see this guy coming up. And I think I could have obviously got a shot here a little sooner. But I just want to make sure it goes in. I actually kind of want to go for the track, but it just doesn't work. But like I said, I want to get the most damage out I can. That's quick and viable to get out. So now I'm in the middle of a reload, and as soon as that, I'm not just sitting still, not doing anything. I'm trying to get myself into a position where once I'm reloaded, I can go in and dump this clip for the 1800 average that it's potential of. And at this point, I see there's the 5120, I think Type 4 and a Tiger 2. So my target here immediately is going to be the 5120 because, again, autoloader, that burst damage, and it's more mobility. Then it would probably actually be the Tiger. Well, no. It's probably going to Type 4 to top tier tank. Big gun, get that out of the way. But here you see me just focusing the 5120, missing 1 shot. I panic a little bit here. I don't know why. I actually fixed my orange tracks. Don't do that. And here, I'm just trying to get out of the way, basically. I could have probably done that a little better, a little quicker. But it's just, positioning is so key to everything. That's really my play style. Yeah, sure, I can do the Circle of Death, I can brawl with some other light tanks or other stuff like that. But for me, the most important aspect of this game is just positioning, and more positioning. For my style of play. Just getting the drop on people is so much more of an advantage than having armor, in my opinion, or anything like that. There's other, like I said, there's other aspects of it. Like I said, eventually I'll do a little more of an in-depth video on like how I do like the on-the-move shooting, especially in light tanks. Like I said, just positioning yourself to where they're not going to get shots on you, or they're not going to be expecting you. It's just kind of key. Now, unfortunately, here we almost mess up. Again, not perfection. Never claim to be a perfectionist. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't like losing, and I hate when I mess up. So I am kind of a perfectionist, but I'm not perfect. This is not, yeah, shocker. Yeah, like, especially I'll go back, if I lose a game or something like that, I'll be like, man, if I had just done this or something else, I could have easily won that, or if this had gone this way. And that's why I hate, like, my one thing I don't like doing, and I will never do, is watch teammates after I die, because it just makes me annoyed. Regardless, it's just something that bugs me. So I try not to do it. It's just all, for me, that's my mindset, is trying to get the drop on people. Just kind of letting the game flow out and not overthinking things. Because as soon as this is me personally, if I start overthinking things, that's when I mess up and make mistakes. When I start actually thinking about situations and I just overthink it, go way too far, like, I'll go all the way around the map and then end up losing or something like that. That's the majority of the time, like clutch situations where you'll see me on stream lose something. It's because I just overthought way too much about what was happening. And it's just something I need to work on. And just avoid is just that, okay, I'm going to keep doing it for me. If that's your style, that's fine. It's totally, I said, it's dependent on what you like doing. But for me, that's just how I like to operate, basically, and how I like to play. Not operate, but yeah, just overall, it's just something unique, and that's why, honestly, I kind of struggled. And one reason I didn't want to do the commentary at first is because I thought it'd be hard to explain why I do some of the stuff I do, because I said this jokingly to some people, and I'm like, I don't know why I do some stuff, because it's just plain stupid. Especially in something like the LTTB or something like that, where I know I just have such a good feel in that tank that I can't explain. I was like, I can't explain how I do some of this stuff or why I do it and why it's a good idea. Because frankly, on paper, most of the time, it's some of the stuff I do in that thing, it seems like a horrible idea. Apologize for this. I don't know what the hell. That's right. I hit my TV cable with my foot when that happened. My bad. But yeah, it's just my overall style. If you guys want to hear more about like what I'm thinking like that, I'll go for it. But hopefully you enjoyed this. Gives you an idea of what I'm thinking. And I will catch you next time. See ya.